Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome to a high level game between Solar in the bottom right as our red Zerg player, and in the top left in the blue trunks playing for Storm Gaming, it is Gumiho, whose first SCV stays at home. That's always the most important thing, is figuring out where that first SCV goes, and if Gumiho says it stays at home, it stays at home. We're not going to see any type of proxy racks here. At least not quite. Gresvan, the map on which we've seen a lot of interesting games. We've seen a lot of camping. We've seen some aggressive games. We've seen some interesting moves. This base for Zerg, very difficult to hold due to this ramp. So often we see an expansion pattern that focuses more to the forward positions, the sides, and then kind of the top over here as maybe a fifth. Sixth base can be hard, of course. This is a sixth for Zerg. Seventh, maybe here. Can make the map quite difficult in the late game for Zerg, as a pure split map scenario often favors Terran. Counterattacks are difficult to achieve here as well for the Zerg race. In the early game, however, a relatively large map, and a map where Zergs feel comfortable. I've seen things like Mutas played on here to great success. Muta, of course, a unit that kind of keeps the game into the mid game forever. It keeps it in this stage where the Terran wants to deal with the Mutas. Mutas can fly into main bases, easily harass and bounce between those bases. So that's definitely something to keep in mind here. The first Overlord of... this is when you know that you're a dangerous man, okay? When Zerg players use their first two Overlords to scout around their base, rather than sending one straight across, you know you're a dangerous man. Gumiho is a dangerous man. He's put the fear of God in a lot of these Zergs, and these Zergs, as a result, they don't dare scouting across the map with their Overlord. They want to know if they're being proxy raxed. And so far, well, no proxy racks, but this Marine is going on a little adventure as well. It's actually going to be triple Marine here, I think. Oh yeah, that's definitely going to be triple Marine here out of Gumiho. Triple Marine into Factory, one of his older builds that he has played for a while now already. 36 seconds, 38 seconds. What was the timing then? God, I'm so bad at counting back. If you have to do it fast. 43, 37, 36. Slightly faster CC than usual. I wonder what he did. Probably took a later gas as well. Factory on the way, reactor coming out. There's a lot of things that are possible from here on out. You could go into a starport. Most likely is going to be a starport. Then with Hellions. It's the most common thing to do. Single car into starport. Barracks builds attack lab. And then we'll take it from there. Link's gonna make its way across the map. And not going to be capable of finding that much out here. Just saw 3 Marines. Knows that there's no Reaper. So that's a good start. Double Queens have been produced. And they're both downstairs. Can really focus a lot on creep spread here. If there's nothing happening in the first, like, 3.5 minutes, your first 4 or 5 tumors are practically free, which is really nice for Zerg. It allows you to build them on cooldown whenever you want. There we go. Creep tumor gets built here. And this single Hellion is not going to be capable of doing anything about it. Fusion core is a follow-up, so feels to me like we're heading into a mechie game. Ooh, maybe this is actually going to be double starport here. Really fast third gas as well. Could be for a second starport. Could also just be to get that bit of extra gas. That's not really necessary though, is it? 20 more seconds? No, you're just going to be floating some gas. 4th refinery already. Huh. I'm definitely getting vibes here of a double starport, but the second starport hasn't been built yet, so those vibes are incorrect. It's just there's going to be a crap ton of gas by the time this fusion core finishes. Guess you're going to be capable of starting Yamato immediately? Is that really such a big deal, though? No, it's okay. It is actually second starport. I was correct. It's a late second starport. But I guess Gumiho has this build all figured out. Double starport opener. Now, that often does give some difficulties for Zerg players. It can be hard to scout. Ooh, spores are really early. Look at that. One spore going down here. One spore going down in the natural as well. Nothing in the third yet. So they're not entirely sure what it is going to be. If it's going to be a Viking, Lip, or a Banshee. But these are some darn early spores here. And once again, this creep spread is gonna go ham, because there's no harassment whatsoever on the map. There's 2 Hellions. 5 minutes into the game, there's 2 Hellions. Surely that worries Solar a little bit. It wouldn't completely surprise me if he builds a round of Lynx in the near future as well. Just to make sure that he doesn't die against some weird 2-on-1 type of build. Like, that is of course a real possibility. We have a Roach Warren coming down, 6 gases, more drones. Creep spread continues pushing. Pop. Throw down that tumor, my friend. Pop. Throw down the next tumor. Actually going up to 6 gas here on layer tag as well. BC makes its way in towards the main base. Queens were not in position. That means that this queen might actually be in a little bit of trouble here right now. As these drones need to run for their dear life. Queens move in. 2 drones go down. Lots of mining time lost. And 1 Overlord. Nah, should be capable of survive. Well, that's an Overlord with a death wish there. As he started following the Battlecruiser. Not quite sure if he wanted to get more info or what the plan was over there, but definitely not worthwhile. 2 Roaches on the way. And I think these Roaches are mainly to deal with Hellion run-bys. Don't want to just have pure Ling against that. Queens need to chase the Battlecruiser, and then you want to have Roaches to deal with the cars. That is the ideal setup here. Second BC is out. Third BC is going to be out soon as well. Can we get a teleport in towards the main? I think we can. That's a Yamato there on the Queen. Bang! And it's gone. Where's that second BC? Are you not going to teleport in? Are you afraid of the Spire? And if so, why? I don't think that is supposed to be the case. He's going to double jump, isn't he? Double jump, double jump, double jump, double jump. There we go. Where are we going? Where are we going? Okay, right on top of this, Queen's going to be Yamato. 2 Queens go down here for free. That means there's going to be 3 Queens remaining. 3? Is 3 Queens actually enough? Did he double Yamato the same Queen? Why is there no Yamato left on one of them? Is that actually what happened? Mule, this is not a Manor Mule. This is a repair mule. Drones are getting pulled off the line to start killing it, so that is a 220 minerals wasted there for Gumiho. He's dealing a lot of damage though at the same time. 48 workers against 56, but Queens falling at a rapid pace here. Ooh, that bad boy stayed alive just barely. Transfuses weren't being used. Battlecruisers can move over towards the third base as 7 Corruptors are now on the way. If Gumiho is aware of the timings, he should start flying back home. Corruptors take, what, 29 seconds to build? Should be enough time for these BCs to get back home indeed. What are you doing? Turns around, loses a BC for free. That's a lot of resources there going down for no real reason whatsoever. And, well, there is 1 jump out available. Next jump out's also available. So I think Gumiho is going to be just fine, but this was kind of silly, honestly. Losing that 1 BC is so bad. Because rather than going up to 7 Battlecruisers, you're now only going up to 6. That means you have 1 less Yamato, and that really can kind of snowball in a negative way. Ooh, here we go. This bad boy might actually end up dying if he's not quick enough here with the jump back home. Uses 1 Yamato. Hello, can we teleport? Can we teleport? Yes, double teleport. This one, completely out of position, does get to teleport back home with just a mere 5 HP. At the same time, this Battlecruiser already used its Yamato. I mean, this BC is going to get taken out here. This BC is going to get taken out. Very poor control out of Gumiho. Insanely good start, but poor follow-up control. Teleported this across the map is going to clear 1 queen, but is most likely just going to lose this as well. This has been a very disappointing execution of this build. What is this? Yamatos loses another BC. We've lost, what, 5 BCs? 4 BCs have gone down in total. This bad boy is in trouble as well. 1 Yamato comes down and a teleport is available. Please use it. Does get used. There's 2 more BCs over here. 1 has a Yamato available. 64 workers against 56. Despite this extremely poor control out of Gumiho and is constantly free losing of Battlecruisers. I think we've lost, what, 5 now? No, still 4. Okay, 4 BCs have gone down. Absolutely unnecessary. I think for at least 3 of them he could have saved them. Absolute nonsense. He still is in a really good spot. No 4th base yet here for Solar. Absolutely nothing of the sorts. Double factories coming in now. Mech will be the follow-up. But we should be looking at a BC count of 8 already right now, and instead we only have 4. Imagine 8 Yamatos being available in another half a minute or so. That means that no Corruptors would be left to deal with this. Armory, has it started yet? No, it hasn't. Ship weapons could be an upgrade that you're going for in this case. Another interesting little thing that you can do, by the way, is after opening with battlecruisers, is adding in a couple of ravens to deal with burrowed units, creep, as well as with infestors. Interference matrix can cancel neural parasites, so it makes the movement with high battlecruiser numbers a lot safer, at least for a very long time. Even if you just have one raven with 2 interference matrices with you, that can be a pretty big deal. Spotting invisible units, interference matrix, and of course also actually having the ability to put the Dorito dust on units -2 armor with a unit with such a high rate of fire like the BC is absolutely huge. I actually think if you play this build, a double starport BC build, you should always follow it up with at least 1 raven at some point. It makes sense. You already have the starport on the tech lab. And it just has so much utility for clearing creep, for dealing more damage with your BCs. Imagine anti-armoring an entire drone line. Every drone orange, covered in the dust. That would be so sick. I would actually love that. You would kill them so quick. +1 ship weapons, -2 armor. Like 2-shotting drones at that point. Well, not entirely, but you know, it's close. 6 PCs are out right now. Could have been 10. I'm just gonna keep mentioning the fact that, you know, what it could have been. Could have been 10. I think this layer is dead, no? Teleport, teleport, teleport. Loses a BC, but kills it. I don't even think killing a layer is that important. You can just build a new one. I don't think it's worth the BC, but killing a lot of these drones is worth it. Not sure why the roaches went to the main base. That seems like an F2 move to me. There's still no Blue Flame Hellions, despite us being 12 minutes in already. This is such a fun game. I love this type of stuff. This is a build order that you're gonna copy, and you're gonna die to a roach all in, but it doesn't really matter. It's the thought that counts. But I actually am gonna copy this build, because this looks like so much fun to play. You're just sending BCs in, and some of them die, some of them stay alive. You need a quick teleport, 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 teleport. Good lord. BC number 6 that went down here. Could have been at 12 battlecruisers. Once this one pops out at 13. Instead we're at 7. Imagine 13 BCs. Bam, you Yamato everything. Win the game. Straight up. Still the funny thing here is, of course, 66 workers against 75. Relatively significant lead here. I really do believe in my Raven thought, by the way. I think not getting Ravens when you have 2 starports on tech labs is actually a huge error. He's instead moving these starports away. I actually think this is a massive mistake. Ravens have so much utility, like the entire game as well. Even in fights against Corruptors. Imagine -2 anti-armor missile on Corruptors. Your PCs are so much stronger. It's like being up two upgrades. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. And I think the time that the anti-armor missile lasts is also something like 20, 25, 23 seconds. I don't even know how long it is. But it is really, really long. It's a crazy amount of time. People underestimate it, I think. And then the ability to have mobile detection is fantastic as well. It's so cheap in the new patch. I don't know. I just don't quite understand why they're not being built right now. We have vehicle weapons as well as vehicle plating on the way here for our Terran player, who's just moving around with these cars, looking to do some damage. And rotates away from that right side. There's almost no creep on the left. This is the 6th base that's being thrown down here for Solar. Solar has lost a total of 56 workers. And in the resources lost, we see 9.2k against 7.4. And here indeed comes our Raven and more BCs being built as well. I think with such a high BC count, getting +1 ship weapons is not necessarily a bad play. Rather than going for the vehicle plating, I think ship weapons probably should have some type of priority here. But then again, I've been wrong in the past. I wonder what the actual plan is. Like, what is the late game comp? Do you start adding in Ghost? Is that the ultimate composition? Ghost BC? I don't think it is, but it sounds cool. You have a really sick long-range spell with the Yamato. You have Snipe as well. I guess they work in fairly similar ways, so maybe there's too much overlap there. But you have a big aggressive threat as well with the BC. BC is just a good unit. Like, it's a powerful unit. People underestimate it. They undersell it. Terrans do. Fort base is an orbital command. Corruptors moving in right now. This is a risky endeavor. You move in, you kill one BC, or you don't even kill the BC. You lose like 7 Corruptors for free. That's obviously not quite ideal. These roaches also going to be going down. So 8 Corruptors get rebuilt immediately. This is just going to keep on happening. If there's 8 battlecruisers out, you're going to keep losing 8 Corruptors every time you move in like that and try to snipe a BC. I don't think you can play like that. I like the thought of a Viper pulling them in, but... I mean, you need to remember which battlecruiser you decided to pull in, because every single one has a separate teleport. It's not like a global cooldown on the teleport of the BC. No, every single one has an individual one. Individual cooldown. As is usually the case with spells. Except, of course, with mass recall on the Nexus. Lane going in for a scout. Has now died. Poor Zergling. Oh, you have another attack here. Actually, the Yamatos are just like Snipe. You go in and you lose 3-4 units every time. This bunker's gonna get sold, despite it having the cool-looking armor. Sensor tower on the way. We have a second orbital being landed here, kind of forming a wall between the potential roaches and the tank. Pathogen glance is on the way. We don't have neural quite yet, so these investors are just out for fungal for now. Oh, get scanned. Where's that Raven? I know there's one. Oh, it's actually just with this army. I think everything is being used in one control group here, by the way. This is such a weird army that you almost never see. Oh, here we go. Cyclones lock onto these bad boys. Here comes the anti-armor missiles. A couple of these Yamatos are going to connect. Oi, 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 oi. Battlecruiser count gets diminished here. 4 get taken out. Gumiho falling in supply as a, well... couple of fungals really destroying the BCs. More Cyclones in production now, so it feels like that Gumiho is moving into a more mobile force while his opponent is moving into a less mobile force. I wonder if this is going to cause any issues for Solar, where he might end up losing side bases that ideally he wouldn't be losing. Neural Parasite on the way. 10 Brute. Often with Brute Lords, the moment you get them, you want to use them as well. So I'm kind of feeling a Brute push here. Let's take a look. What's going to happen? Yeah, Thors immediately. 4 Thors get produced at an instant. The moment he scans those Brutes. And I think the best thing you can do here is split off your BCs, go towards the top side, try and take out a base. And at the same time, with your Cyclones, try to get something done here, either on the bottom side or also just kind of rotate away from this. Because you can't really efficiently trade against an army like this. And an efficient trade is exactly what Gumiho needs here, because he's down in bank. He's, well, up until this point wasn't even maxed anymore. He's gonna start losing a lot of units here. Tanks being taken out. BCs indeed, well, where are they? I was gonna say indeed moving towards the top side, but I don't actually see where they are. Where are your BCs? Oh, moving towards the bottom instead. Okay, this is also a cool rotation. So BCs rotate in towards the main base, while the Cyclone Hellion goes for a base trade on the top side. There's really nothing to deal with that. That's an interesting scan. Sees nothing. Needs to teleport immediately, though. Wouldn't mind a teleport back home to deal with this. But instead, 2 battlecruisers get taken out for free. The amount of BCs that have gone down for no apparent reason this game is way, way too high. It's a ridiculous amount, honestly. So we get a lock-on onto this hatchery. Spinecrawler is going to get taken out. This hatchery will die as well. 2 hatcheries are going to die. I'm a bit sad that Gumiho didn't realize that these drones managed to burrow. But I guess that is life as well. As here come the Brood. No support whatsoever. BCs once again go in towards the main base. That's a suicide mission. As this planetary is also going to be in trouble. I don't even think repair is a good call here. Unless your Thors come in at time. Maybe if your Thors come in? No. Once the P starts going, the P usually kills a building. Unless you have a lot of units nearby. Cyclones. Connect with these Corruptors. Good scan here. That's going to cost our good friend, what, 4 or 5 Corruptors? Maybe even more. Have the BCs gone down yet? No, they're just... They are about to, though. They killed 18 workers, I think. Not sure if that's all the BCs or if other units also were a part of this play. As this bad boy is going to go down. We now have these Cyclones pushing in. Solar at a decent larva count can rebuild. Gonna lose this base. I think moving the Thors out on the map here is a little bit wild. Then again, Gumiho is a very wild player. Currently outmining his opponent. Yeah, and this is kind of what I meant when I said Broodlords are a slow unit. What is this? You don't want to attack into this, surely. Am I crazy or is Gumiho crazy? I think Gumiho is going a little bit wild here. He's fighting against these brutes with the Thors. That looks okay, but there is a Neural available, right? Am I wild? Yeah. 3 Neurals could really turn this fight around. Even a Fungal could kind of turn this fight around. High damage output, of course, of these brutes. Constant scanning is a necessity. A couple of Cyclones move their way towards the top side, trying to take out another base. This base goes down as well. I actually think Gumiho doesn't need to continue pushing. He's outmining his opponent in by such a large margin right now. I mean, Solar is technically on like, what, 1.5 base or something. I think attacking into this is a mistake. Solar is the one that needs to attack right now. 2400 minerals a minute against, what? 1200, 1100 is bottom base once again. Mule Rain starts. Orbital count is at, what? Decent count? 9. That is a very decent count indeed. Wouldn't mind seeing some ghosts, but instead we're getting more battlecruisers. How many battlecruisers have gone down? 14 BCs have gone down so far. This is a really good engagement though for Gumiho. Starts targeting down every single Broodlord over here. Couple of neural parasites on the left side, but that's not the important side. The right side is the important side. Every brute gets blasted. And I think this is going to be a win here for our good friend Gumiho. It looked very bad for a second, but the Broodlord transition came too soon. Solar wasn't set up for it, didn't have the creep spread, didn't have the defensive forces, lost too many bases, was forced to all in, and then lost the game. And Gumiho's mass battlecruiser worked early on, and yeah, got the win here. Impressive little game out of Gumiho. That is going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Bye bye.